It's 6:30, so I'm going to call the meeting to order. If we can start with a roll call.
Marissa Roberts, Holly Lane,
Kara Riley.
Allison Neal Malone.
All right. Pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Dr. Roberts, you have a
Main board. So my update is to fulfill you with some things that I've been working on this past month. We had a successful visit from the Charter Seed Growth Fund, and we had both campuses prepared, and the team came in and met with administrators at the elementary school. They met with teachers from both levels at the elementary school. They toured the elementary school. Then they came to high school, toured over here. It was an incredibly successful visit. They wanted to see work in action, so they popped into classrooms. We had great kind of guides that helped them manage and maneuver through the buildings all really well. Then myself and Renee met with the finance group via Zoom, and then several of you met with the group on board questions this afternoon. So that really fulfills our current obligations. We've uploaded all the files and things that they wanted, and lots of data, lots of information, they wanted a year's worth of board meeting agendas and minutes. They wanted financials, they wanted a lot of data. So we've got all that uploaded, and now we wait. So currently they're now finishing their tour, visiting other schools and evaluating. We are working on, with Erin's help, is navigating the agenda with the National Art Museum School visit that's coming up in May. They will be in the May 8th for a meet and greet with all of our community partners, which we'll invite you to that as well at brick and mortar. And then the next day begins their tours through the campus. And Erin's got a great agenda packed. Lots of classroom visits showing our work in collaboration with our museum partners and all the different things that both campuses do to fulfill that. And then they're actually going to go walk down to Rogers Historical Museum and look at some of the work there and talk about that partnership. And then we'll finalize the day at Crystal Bridges for the My School, My Museum. Crystal Bridges has graciously given us a boardroom for them to be in and actually do some filming, because they're going to create some filming while they're there, and we're going to create some filming of that process. And then they've also donated some tickets to the Jewel drone show afterwards. So we're hoping a really great experience for the team that's coming. So we're really excited about that. We sent out for the staff the employee intent to return. And if you'll remember, that is basically just a feeler to see if any staff are considering not returning. So we have ample time to help them transition, as well as knowing what positions we need to post. And if they're going to be moving towards retirement, we can help them navigate what that looks like. Currently, we've got 2 staff not returning, both retirement, and then we've got the rest are interested in returning. So that's a really good retention rate for staff. And then, although they might make decisions after that, we're feeling really good that we are able to kind of manage what that looks like. Let's see, the Food Loops recycling program. So we were asked by the Northwest Council if we wanted to participate in this grant program, bringing in the food waste. So both campuses are going to have red containers, and they're going to be dumping in their food waste, which the company will come and pick up. And then they use that for fertilizer for farms or whatever. They kind of mix it all up and share that out. Where it's really significant training piece for kids to know about waste in general. And we've got staff that's going to be at this campus and staff at elementary really talking about what can go in those bins. And at the same time, we're really looking at how do we look at more Thaden-ish processes, such as the reduce or zero waste for packets of sauces or ketchups and things like that. And do we look at, can we purchase metal forks and roll those through the washer? Can we look at any way that we can reduce our footprint? Ellen and I went and toured the Thaden cafeteria and had lunch there, and it was an incredible experience. Thank you for helping us do that. We learned a lot, and we brought back to our cafeteria manager ideas on ways that we can slowly step into a process. So that was a really great thing. What we're going to measure the metrics on is our number of dumpster pulls and the weight. And so we're also going to try to step into cardboard. So the cafeteria already recycles cardboard. They already break it down, but we're going to try to do that as a campus on both ends to keep those out of the dumpsters, put that in a recycle bin. Ideally, if we can afford the bins for plastic water bottles and aluminum, which we don't have a lot of aluminum here, but we'll try to merge that in. So we just have to navigate what that cost is. So we're really excited about that. We're gracious that we were given this opportunity. And then last phase is we're in the final submission of the grant for our artful learning to roll into our 7th, 8th, and a little bit in all of our arts classes for the high school. So we're finalizing that. We've gotten the green light, which is fantastic. A lot of support with that. We're just finalizing, or I'm just finalizing the final numbers so the grant can be submitted, and then we go through that stage. So with that very unique opportunity, we're going to have the majority of all of our staff trained in artful learning in a phased approach that it will be supportive of both levels at the same time. So that level of training and professional development and support has not ever been done before. So we're really, really excited about what that looks like and how we can move that into really strong student success in the classroom. Those are my updates. And then what I've tried to do, we've done many iterations of this CEO update, trying to find the sweet spot to make it just as informative, but not lengthy and, 90 minutes long. And so what I've told all the different areas that want to submit information is that I will submit to you what I know, what I'm doing, what I know of as a district initiative, and they will add into the agenda things that they want to discuss. So then if we don't see them on this agenda, it means they probably want to speak to you next time. So I'm hoping that we'll give this a trial run and see if you're getting all the information that you need. And that way we're not held at the district office waiting on information to come to us. It's submitted if it needs to be delivered.
All righty. My next comments. Okay. Sorry, I seem to have a different copy here than
Personnel changes.
you guys.
It's over
Okay.
here too.
Yeah. So personnel changes, is there anything to discuss here? The only thing of interest to me is the fashion and costume design.
Miss
Loss.
Dowdy decided to resign her position and stay with her son, who's now being homeschooled.
Okay.
And our new hire for our kitchen lasted one day, so that person is now in the below column because she then resigned. So currently, we feel like we're fully staffed in the kitchen. This additional staff is going to let our kitchen manager have a little more flexibility, but he'll be able to do that at the same time. And what we're doing right now is we're continuing to look at our budget numbers for February, March, and April to determine if we want to continue to self-op and how we make it. Are we making the right amount of money to cover our expenses and quality food, and is that doable for us? So that's where that's at.
Are we hiring a replacement for fashion?
No, Mr. Volts has switched his schedule a little bit. They've moved some things around. He's taken up all of the fashion classes, which,
Okay.
yeah, it allows some consistency with that delivery too.
Do we have any comments from the public? No? Okay. Oh, this is the old one. That's why I'm confused. I got it. Okay. So I guess we'll move on to the consent agenda. Does anyone have any concerns about the minutes? Any discussion or problems with the minutes? No? Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting?
A motion.
Second?
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No? Okay. All right. Financials. We have 25 pages. Does anyone have
That's okay,
any
that's normal.
questions or concerns? Or Adrian, do you need to enlighten us on anything?
No, 25 pages is normal. You have lots of bank statements in there, so.
Okay. All right. We need to approve those?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second. All right. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? All right. Our March enrollment. Looks like a few adds, a few subtractions.
How's it going after the lottery?
Oh, thank you for bringing that up. I thought maybe we'd have that report in there. Actually, we're in really great shape. I'll show you my scratched notes, but we are actually, we're in this state where of the students that are saying that they're going to return, which is about 98%, other than the seniors that are leaving. And we can't hold that sacred until they actually show up. So the majority of the students that said they were going to return are going to return.
You just like it.
I just had it. Oh, here it is. Sorry, my goodness. But we have the lottery. If we hold true to the lottery that says they want to come, the new kids that are enrolling, the ones we have returning, will only be at like 150 students under our cap. So that's the closest we've been to our cap since before COVID, which is great. Now, we can't hold that accurate until they actually show up. What we are doing a little bit differently with the new enrollees, especially at high schools, we really want them to give a tour. We really want to walk them around the space and talk to them about this particular school. And so what's happening is once the lottery pool has been accepted, or once they get enrolled, either Aaron is doing a lot of tours right now. He's really good at them. Aaron, Amy, the principals, someone is touring families, either singly or in groups, and showing them the campus and kind of giving them some more information. And then we also are looking at increases. We only have 2 grade levels currently, if all this is accurate, that are not already full at elementary, and which is incredible. And that is being kindergarten, which was a low group this year. And we lack, that could be it. I feel like there's one more grade level. But our elementary school is going to be sitting with the wait list beyond what we have right now. And we do have, and the great thing is we do have increased numbers at the high school. So the trends are going up, and that's really good to see.
Did we get any feedback? I saw a couple that there was some declines. Did we ever get any feedback as to why they decided to decline?
Pam does that, and sometimes they tell her and sometimes they don't. Sometimes she'll call or email and say, you've been selected or you've been pulled from the lottery, and they'll just say I decline or I've changed my mind, or well, she doesn't get a whole lot. Sometimes she does, but
I'm just curious.
yeah.
I know that a lot of parents put their kids in multiple lotteries and then decide when they get the results of all of them back. So, All right, new business, teachers of the month. I have 3, I'm not sure if anyone's here. So, our elementary employee of the month is James Green.
So our teachers voted for Mr. Green, well, Coach Green, it sounds like Mr. Green. He touches every student. He has every student every week. He does a fantastic job with all of our kids. And he also has coached our archery team, which has done amazingly well. And our kids have seen a huge amount of improvement in archery and they're going to nationals, the middle school team. So our staff voted for Coach Green.
You should brag on your win. You should brag. That is worth bragging about.
Yes.
Yes. Awesome job.
Worth it, huh?
Okay, you have snuggles. There you go. 1, 2, 3. Got it. All right, and our next teacher of the month in high school is Jordan Haynes. I don't see him.
Both of the high school teachers of the month weren't able to be here. Jordan is at home with sick kiddos, and Spry has Into the Woods rehearsal.
And Alex Fry.
Yeah, both of these teachers were voted on by our staff. It's both of our theater teachers. A lot of the feedback that we got from our staff was, we went and saw the class, it was incredible. Just an awesome performance. The students did amazing, and both of these teachers played an integral role in making that happen. And so their staff wanted to recognize them for the hard work that they both did in that.
Awesome, thank you. All right, next we have the elementary school update.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have anything prepared.
You don't have to.
I mean, it's always busy over there. We just took our Atlas writing test and it was really smooth, which is good because it's always nerve wracking when you have a brand new test. Our kids have done really well. We have one kid left to test. We've really just been busy. I mean, we've all been busy at the school, but we've had a really great turnout for parent teacher conferences tonight. We expect 100% from our teachers and they deliver. So we did a whole lot of sprucing up and cleaning up and cleaned out some rooms, took out some stuff that's probably been there for 10 years so that we have some space, some more usable spaces since we're pretty much out of space. So we're trying to clear out everything we can. And it was looking really pretty for our charter seed grant visit. We do have our artful learning units are coming up. We're starting them in April, right after the break. So if you guys want to come to the school, our kids are going to be starting with masterwork experiences and concept exploration. And then they're going to be doing inquiry centers for each of the subjects. So it's going to be, our teachers have worked so incredibly hard with Ms. Bowis on their units. And it's for the whole rest of the school year. So if you want to see some awesome teaching and some awesome learning from kids, this is the time to come. I mean, it's happening all the time, but this is exciting, our new artful learning. So y'all have any questions about anything? Okay, thanks
so much. All right, high school update.
You get the dynamic duo. Mel couldn't be here unexpectedly, so you divvied up the list and we're both tackling it.
So first thing, I believe all of y'all have a copy of this. College and career.
Yes.
Miss Meredith is our high school college and career coach, and she's going to be reporting on the status of the student success plans and college experience visits that have been going on these days.
Yeah.
Got you going.
Hello.
So I'm happy to report that student success plans are officially done. It's not like so that was really fun, and I think the students enjoyed it, and my learning was really successful tool that we used. So that was great. And then tomorrow I'm taking a group of about 14 students to NWAC, so I'm really excited about that. They chose to go and they signed up, so that will be fun. And then April 10th, we're going to University of Arkansas. About 30 students signed up for that one, so that one's a popular one, and I'm excited about that. And overall, we've had a variety of colleges come to campus to make sure that our students are getting a lot of exposure to different types of colleges, and the college fair was also a great way for students to get different exposure as well. So looking forward to future events.
Okay, thank you.
So all of you received 3 pieces of paper from us. Well, there's 6 total, but we gave you the same thing that we're going to read from. We gave you a testing schedule, and then we gave you a blurb that Dr. Langley's going to talk about our world language students that went, and she'll cover that in a second. Updates on testing. Testing has started full throttle. We, as a school district, participated in NAEP testing for the first time that I'm ever aware of. That is a federal testing pilot program for, I know it's 8th grade, is it 4th grade? 4th and 8th grade. They take our list of students and they randomly selected 50 8th graders, same amount of 4th graders. And then they performed all of that testing. So they had people come in. We don't get the results of that, but out of those 50 students, they either took the reading test or they took a math test. And it's just something that the federal government comes in and does. But one thing we wanted to acknowledge was they went out of their way to make sure they complimented to Ms. Morgan how well behaved our students were and how engaged they were, and pointed out that oftentimes they come into schools and are not as well received as they were here. So that was wonderful. That was on February 20th. And then all of our juniors got to have a free administration of the ACT on February 27th. That went off without any problems. We did some makeups already, and there will be one more makeup opportunity in April for the 7 students that were unable to be here on the 27th. So they'll have one more chance to be able to do that. We've also completed the English language proficiency assessment on both campuses. That was the beginning of last week on March 4th and 5th. And then we successfully executed our very first Atlas test. Atlas has replaced ACT Aspire. So it's a brand new program for both the state and for us. One of the great things about Atlas is it allows us to break apart all the testing. So we did the Atlas writing testing at the elementary campus and at the high school. And then they will still have a reading assessment. Math will be broken out by their course, algebra, geometry, or Math 7 or Math 8. And there will also be a science assessment, but the students don't have to sit all day and take it like they did with Aspire, which was great. So the first writing assessment went off very well on both campuses. We weren't exactly sure what to expect, and we were pleasantly surprised that everything was completed. We're finishing makeups here on the high school campus as we tested last Friday. And then the other document, I'm not going to read it to you, but this is the document that the Melody, our district testing coordinator, submitted to the state for all of our Atlas writing dates. So you'll see that those are broken apart for both the elementary and the high school. We completed all the writing for 7-10 and 3 through 6. That one's done. Reading will be next at the high school and at the elementary, different days. And then that's our plan going forward. I know at the high school, we brought in our departments and let them kind of pick what would be best in terms of testing your students. It's a balancing act between getting the students while they're still engaged and waiting as long as possible to teach as much content. And then we have AP testing also coming up in May. Okay.
Our awesome kiddos in our language department, Spanish specifically, went to the Spanish language state competition with Miss Valverde and Miss Garcia. And for a lack of a better term, kicked some booty. They did great. We were super proud of them. We had students that came in first place, second place, fourth, and sixth place. I believe y'all should have a little snippet that comes from our the article that has some photos there of the specific students and what they were able to place in. And so we had an awesome showing. Super proud of the work that they put into that. There's also some honorable mentions in there too that maybe did not necessarily place, but went out of their way to prepare for the competition and did an absolutely fabulous job. So we are super proud of all of them. On the next page, something I'm super excited about because this happened literally within the past few hours is Desi has requested to use Arkansas Arts Academy High School as an exemplar school for the work that we've been doing with Universal Design for Learning. So me and Dr. Magara have been at a Train the Trainers PD the past 2 days in regards to inclusive practices, and then it has a UDL component to it. Well, in our conversations that we've been having with Desi, they've realized that our artful ties to education and arts integration play such a strong role with UDL and Universal Design for Learning, and how we can not only assess but implement and modify curriculum and things for students. So they've requested to come in and actually film classes at our school that they are going to then use as part of their training series for schools around the whole state. So that's going to be happening in April, either the 23rd or 24th. I'm going to get with teachers. They specifically want to see math and they specifically want to see science. They have a lot of resources already for English, and they have a lot of resources already for elementary. And they've been struggling to find schools that they feel are hitting the mark or more moving towards the mark at a high school setting. So we were really excited when they reached out to us at this meeting and asked if we would be interested in doing that. And I jumped right on board and said yes. Another thing, East Conference is happening as we speak. The high school, we're celebrating our first year. Of course, the East program's been going for a while at the elementary school. We have 6 students currently in attendance currently in attendance at the conference in Hot Springs, along with 9 from the elementary. It's a multi-day event showcasing projects within their communities, networking with peers, industry professionals, East service projects empowering students to use technology and STEAM to be better for their community. So we're excited that they are getting the opportunity to go and do that. Student elective request. We created a Google form. It's called the Arts Sports Elective Interest Survey. We currently have, the last time I looked today, we had over 100 responses, but it's still open. We're trying to have all the students get signed up by Thursday. So this is not them actually choosing their electives. This is just an interest of what are the things that we are going to pull and maybe have a part of our master schedule for next year, or what are we maybe going to allow them to offer or pick from. Like I said, it's just an interest survey, but it already is giving us good data. We'll, probably come up with a percentile that if this many percent doesn't want that class or are not interested, then we're not going to even put it in the course catalog because we know it wouldn't make at that point. So we'll take the highest percentages there. Okay.
Honor roll assembly, we had honor roll assembly last week. Last week was a busy week. We had ELPA testing, we had Atlas testing, we had the honor roll assembly. It was a little bit crazy around here. We strategically placed the honor roll assembly to celebrate the achievements for after the first semester, but we also put in the week beginning up to testing to help encourage students to do well on their tests, to reach high. And we honored more than just the AB honor roll. We did do AB honor roll. We had a total of 57 students from 712 on the A honor roll, and we had 118 students from 712 on the AB honor roll. In addition, we also did a literacy growth award where we had 17 students who have demonstrated growth in their literacy goals. That is specific to certain students going through programs to help them achieve better score outcomes. We also honored students that have grown in their math and reading iReady scores because we've done 2 diagnostics. We have 1 more to go that'll be in April or May. And we had 127 students demonstrate growth of at least 1 level or more in math iReady, and 138 students demonstrate growth in their reading iReady. And finally, we did attendance. We had 4 students, 2 in grade 7 and 2 in grade 11 that got perfect attendance, but we wanted to honor more than just perfect attendance. It's awesome that they're here every day, but sometimes when students are sick and things like that, it might be better if they don't come to school because we don't all want to catch what you have. So we also did excellent attendance awards, and these are for any students that had 3 or less absences or tardies. They couldn't have 3 or more in any period. And we had a total of 96 students in grades 7 through 12 reach the excellent attendance awards. So that was exciting for us. We did figure out that eSchool caps out on roll at 100%, which logically makes sense. But some of our students, and it's more than you might initially think, are exceptional overachievers, and they got over 100%. So we found a crack in our system in that if they got a semester grade that's over 100%, they were not initially recognized. We're working with Chelsea Cannon at the State Department to figure out how we can catch all of those students that have over 100%. And we're going to recognize them. We hope to do it before this week is out. We've got a little bit of a hiccup in that Cognos, the program that runs all of those, is down again. The state's been having issues with that. So we want to recognize them this week as our exceptional, we're not going to call them overachievers. My high school ones that have told me that they were overlooked, and Miss Malone, your daughter was one of them. They have collectively termed themselves the forgotten ones. We're probably not going to call their award that either. And when we explained to them why, they understood. But we want to recognize their solid achievements as well. High impact tutoring grant is something we are very excited about at the high school. This is going to be rolling into our acceleration program. So we're going to have this off the ground, we hope, right after spring break. We've done all of our part, and right now we're waiting on varsity tutors to do the magic behind the scenes and get them started. But what this is Arkansas Arts Academy was awarded a high impact tutoring grant through DESE. And so we're going to work with varsity tutors in small groups, 4 or less per tutor, to work digitally with our students that have the most need for opportunity for skill improvement. So in order to qualify, this is for students in grades 5 through 10, so it's happening on both of our campuses. And all of the students that are going to be able to take advantage of the program have been identified. They have to be performing at least 2 or more grade levels below their grade level on the winter I-Ready, so on the second diagnostic. So these are our students in the most need of help. And we're very excited about it because some of them might get one-on-one help, but they're definitely going to get help small group in exactly what they need help in, because they're able to go a little bit deeper than we are with I-Ready. So we're super excited for that to start. And we think assessments are going to get to start as early as Thursday, the assessments varsity tutor wants to use. We're going to get to fund this for up to 84 students, 4 students for every tutor, and then personalized tutoring 4 days a week. And this will happen during their advisory acceleration. They're in their own groups, so they won't be called out in any way or missing any sort of class. The pilot program is going to go from April 1st to May 25th. And then we'll see how that goes for next year. And my last thing is we're at the high school going to celebrate and experience the solar eclipse. Miss Pat Marrera, we've got to give credit to her for really continuing to bring this to our attention and making sure we do this. But the solar eclipse that's going to happen on April 8th will not happen again for 40 years. So for some of us that are older than other of us, this may be the only time we get to experience this. I did call you a baby. I'm older than Dr. Langley, and I point it out to her all the time. When we're running through the halls and I can't keep up with her, I'm like, it's because I'm old. So the high school students are all going to get to go down to Lake at Atlanta to experience the solar eclipse field trip. We're working on planning exactly what we're going to get to do down there, but Dr. Roberts has agreed to pay for a pavilion for us to be able to go down there. And Miss Marrera has this pinpointed out exactly what time the eclipse will start, when it will end, and all of these things. And we will have at least the minibus, if not more than that, for students that can't walk down there. But we're going to encourage all the students to walk down there and celebrate this magnificent event. We're going to have a picnic lunch down there. We're going to have school sack lunches for students that don't bring their lunch. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. We're going to have a lot of fun.
All right, and last thing, just really fast arts performance updates. We wanted to give you some numbers of some of our big showcases that we've had recently. Tea with Clara from December, Christmas time, we had around 358. people that showed up to watch that. Freedom Speaks, 321. And in Puffs, we had 548 tickets that were sold, which is absolutely amazing. And we want to give credit to all the individuals that have made these kind of massive and big performances go off without a hitch and bring in lots of community members and partnerships. So we wanted to highlight that because those are some great numbers as well.
And every one of those was a culmination of multiple departments. It wasn't just dance theater, you had multiple groups and all of it.
Do you have any questions?
Thanks. Great. Right. Our next item is the facility rental agreement. Have we had an opportunity to review that, board? Yes. Okay, does anyone have any concerns, comments, or questions about it? No? Okay. So we just need to approve it. Can I have a motion to approve? Motion. Second? Second. All right. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay. Next item. Do we have any additional items since publication of the agenda?
We do. First, I'd like to bring up Mr. Stephen Foster, who is our president of our board, of our foundation board. Excuse me. Never know what your next step is.
Just keep promoting this. Dr. Roberts asked that we come and kind of update the board. Last we met, I was just being introduced. I think that was October, November. So what have we been doing the last 4 months? So first step was to kind of rename it the reclamation project of the foundation because it was kind of dormant since COVID. And so we had to reestablish the executive committee. So thankfully, Dr. Roberts kind of tapped some folks for us and some very talented individuals. A couple of them are behind me that have helped us out. But then kind of dig in a little bit from a financial perspective, stabilize the funds that were available, move those to interest-bearing accounts. So we've gotten that done. We're kind of in the stage of adding at-large members. And so we're working through that. We've got a couple that have attended a couple of times and then maybe get a couple more, but established bylaws, got that knocked out. Reestablish our nonprofit classification with the Secretary of State. So that includes going back and filing tax forms that we did not file for the previous 3 years. Kerry Watson's been working on that, doing a great job with that, and waiting on signatures from Garrett Small, the previous president. He's out of the country right now, but as soon as we get his signatures, we should be good there. And then I guess next was, how do we spend money? What are we looking to participate in? One of those things is marketing, and Dr. Roberts asked us to look into some things, so we're working on that. But one of the big things, of course, is the Celebrate the Arts, and so I'll ask Amy Kessler to come up and talk about that.
Sent this out to parents and staff in the email today. The logo designed by our student Bree Dixon is on the back, so you can see that. Thank you. So I'm excited about this event because you get to wear your favorite shoes, and I'm a shoe person, and so I think that's going to be a really fun theme. And so this event is a fundraiser for our arts programming. We have had it for about 10 years, but it hasn't been present for 4 years. And it was one of the major things that funded the arts programming at the high school. But this year we're including the elementary because we think they deserve it too. It is a gala event. That means that it's not a student performance for parents, it's for fundraising. So the ticket prices are a little higher. There's a silent auction, there's food, there's mocktails, and there's student performances. In the past, we've raised about $30,000 for the arts. So we're starting slow this year. We're gonna make it a family-friendly event. Usually it's been 21 and up, and we hope to move towards that in the future, but we're kind of taking a step back and doing it here. So I'm excited. Do you guys have any questions about it?
What's your goal for this year?
Our goal, I think, do you know?
30,000.
30.
I think that's a lofty goal, but
I wish Carrie was here to answer that.
Okay.
But
We're-
because it's a step back and it looks different than anything that we've done in the past, it used to be offsite with alcohol and, all of that. So we're not really sure what to expect this year in terms of what we're going to raise, but we're going to give it our best effort. So.
How do you guys plan to market it?
Well, we've worked on the poster and we're gonna use social media. I sent information out. We're reaching out to sponsors too. And so Carrie Watson could answer a lot of those questions. We also are working with Amanda Welch and Shay Bland from Branded, and they do a lot of corporate events. So they come in and really given us a lot of guidance about how and where to go with this event.
Awesome. Yeah, good. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, Amy. And so to piggyback a little bit on that, we're anticipating about 200 to 250 attendees, but it's free of charge for faculty members. And so the fundraising amount won't correspond to the 250 number at times 30, obviously. And so, but yes, Carrie's done a lot of work on that, and she found a platform that's free of charge for the silent auction and for ticket sales, which is super cool. You guys probably got an email today from her with kind of an update on where we're headed with that. She kind of sent out a blast email about the Celebrate the Arts. So we're excited about that. Excited about a couple other things we got going on. I know Aaron had talked to you guys previously about an estate donation that of art, as well as a house that's being sold in the estate, that the funds are designated, or half of the funds are designated to come to the Arkansas Arts Academy. So exciting stuff there. We're diligently working to get that 501c3 status back where it needs to be before that estate sale happens, so we can make that transition of funding pretty easy. But anyway, not a whole lot else to report on, but any questions that you guys have about the foundation or anything that we can provide for you?
We appreciate you taking this on.
Oh, no problem. And I'll tell you, I haven't done a thing. These guys have done all of it. But I've been so thankful that we have the group that we have, and we'll continue to grow and hopefully make some connections going forward to bring in some funds. So anyway, thank you guys for your time.
All right, thank you. Amy, I love that you're giving us an opportunity to buy new shoes, so it's always.
I need to add, we discovered with our Vest Bank account that in order for Renee to be able to not sign anything, but just to communicate with them, we have to have Dr. Riley's signature, and it has to be in board minutes that you approve that Renee can communicate with our bank.
Oh, cool.
So moved.
All right, second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you.
Okay. Was that all the additional items? I believe that's all.
All right, I believe we do need to go to executive session.
Yes.
All right, we are back. We did not discuss anything that required a vote. So unless anyone has anything to add, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All right, all in favor? Aye. Okay, anyone opposed? No. All right, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Everybody have a great night.
Happy spring break.